Hello, ladies and gents. Romie Mojo here. Please like, comment, and subscribe. This will not be another week of Kenya. This will not be another week of Nene and Kenya. Oh wait, yes it will. So Real Housewives of Atlanta, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it for what it was. Here are things I liked. I liked when they went sightseeing. I liked when Portia and Tanya got the gift for Cynthia. I liked that. I liked when they went up in the sky, dinner in the sky. That is something I would do. That's definitely something I would do and thoroughly enjoy it. Thoroughly enjoy it. What else did I like? I liked just the positive energy, them at the winery drinking, having a good time. Nene was drinking a lot that day. She was drinking a lot that day. So was everyone else, but I think Nene was drinking more. And that's what gets to part one. While they were up in the sky and Nene was terrified because you know how she is with heights and she was drinking, but she was calm at that point. Kenya was being Kenya and she was doing a little bit too much. And I do think Kenya genuinely is Cynthia's friend. I don't think that's the issue here. The issue here is that Kenya has this nasty tendency to go and play the victim. She does that a lot. I'm not talking about her relationship or if someone actually did something to her. That's not what this is about. This is about Kenya. Kenya having issues with maybe the way Cynthia tried to get her and Nene together. I think that Kenya probably felt a little way about that and to kind of just dig at Cynthia because she likes Cynthia and Cynthia is her friend. She thought she could just kind of poke at her with the whole winery thing. But here's how this works. It stops being a joke when you harp on it. That's usually what you should go by. Something stops being a joke once you really harp on it. And Kenya was harping on the fact that we know Cynthia doesn't know much about wine. Everyone knows Cynthia doesn't know much about wine. That's a fun fact. That's a fun fact. Everyone knows Cynthia does not know much about wine, even though she owns a wine cellar, or she opened a wine cellar. It's fine. It's fine. That's not really how it should be, but it's fine. A lot of people who have success owning or operating certain things or whatnot usually don't know the ins and outs of said thing. That's not a requirement. But Kenya decided, and you can tell when she has that look, her look, and that's what she did to Cynthia. Yes, I didn't feel like doing anything with my hair since I wasn't going out, so let me cover that for my own mental health. But Kenya kept poking, and I'm glad that Candy was just like, all right, but how many bottles of wine have you sold? Like, thank you, someone jump in. But I feel like Candy was the only one who could jump in, that it wasn't going to turn into a verbal brawling match. So I'm glad Candy did that. Then we get to part two. You know, it's them eating something. We're at the dinner of Tanya and Portia. Even though it's Kenya and Candy's trip, Tanya and Portia wanted to do a ruins party and they wanted to go and discuss anything that they just wanted to put to rest and leave it there. And you know, these shows constantly do that. It's, oh, we're friends, but we have issues, and so let's figure it out and work through it and talk about it. And by doing that, we'll be able to move forward. Great. Beautiful gowns. That's so nice. You know what isn't nice? So we're getting through and we're getting some breakthroughs. Before we do that, I did love that Nene was accountable for what she said with Portia. Now, Portia, at least from what we were seeing, was steering the conversation most of the time, but Nene was not being overly combative. Nene was making sure that she was actually agreeing with what Portia was saying. Portia put out there that, hey, it was a terrible time for her. She gave birth, she's going through postpartum, and her having to fight with Nene, that's why it escalated the way that did. And then Nene felt bad thinking, all right, she really loves Portia and she understands exactly how that feels. So I'm glad that they could come together. But you could tell, and she said it, Kenya did say that she was not feeling the fact that Portia and Nene had this kumbaya moment after all the things that were said. I'm sorry. In most cases, I'm going to be honest, in most cases, a lot of people have very trying friendships with other people, and it gets to a point where they have to decide if it's worth it or not, and it's not up to you to decide if, based on how bad things got, if, oh, I don't understand how they could be friends. It's called life. It's called life. And in real life, that happens consistently. That's usually the norm. The usual norm is, things aren't exactly perfect. I might have said something horrible about you, to your face, behind your back, whatever, but I love you more and you love me more. We're going to figure this thing out. Kenya doesn't understand how that's real and genuine because of how bad things got. But maybe this is a good example of her to see how people can argue and still come back together. Maybe she's just not used to that. So then we get to the end where Nene was not having it. And I was glad Nene wasn't having it, because even though I was thinking, oh Lord, she brought the divorce. Nene brought the divorce, and how maybe if this isn't that, Kenya would still be married. And I'm like, oh Lord, we talk about the family stuff. Now on this show, that's supposed to be off limits. But I was fine with it because Kenya consistently would do that to other people. She would consistently do that. So you think I'm going to go and defend her, cape for her, go against Nene because of something that Kenya consistently would do? No, there's no way. What? No. I loved every moment of it. I don't care if Kenya gets in the soapbox and this is... I'm not team Nene, I'm not team Kenya, but what I will say is I thoroughly have been enjoying Nene these past couple of episodes. And if she keeps this up, and I didn't care if she was going to take the popcorn, throwing at Kenya, I didn't care if she was going to take the... Well, no, we don't want that. But I didn't care if she was going to throw the popcorn at Kenya, because I said, you know what? I want to see where this goes. I just want to see where this goes. So that's it. So I was not going to talk about the episode. It was not worth me talking about, but I wanted to bring that up. I'm fine with how things transpired with Kenya and Nene. And I can't wait to see next week. It's been a while since the show has done that.